Hey guys, welcome to Sabrina's Craft-nanigans. Let's get on with the shenanigans. Yeah. Today is Craft Your Stash, and our theme was He Is Risen with these three beautiful ladies as our host and guest host, and we will talk more about that here in a little bit. Here's DIY number 1. So here's our Naomi. Yes, we got to get her ready for Easter. So I chose the purples because we know the purple is for royal and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to make a finger bow here right quick, and I'm doing it kind of different than I've made her bows and her braids in the past. If this is the first time you see Naomi, go check out my other videos in Craft Your Stash. That's pretty much when I do it, where I dress Naomi up for every season since October. I just made a 2-loop finger bow over there to the side. Yes, Moose is eating my supper up there. You know how it is. Okay, so you'll see a lot of Moose in this one. And then I tied a string around it, and then I glued the bow on top of the string. So nothing is still attached to her hair. I can pull it out very easy. Now I'm going to take these bunny ears that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to snip them off the headband. Keep the headband, you never know. Now the inside of this just had a piece of plastic. I wanted my ears to be bendy. Well, those aren't bendy. So I'm going to get me just some old floral wire that I had. And I'm just going to take it, I'm going to fold it in half and twist the end of it down there, like so, see? Yep. And then I get it all poofed out and then realize, no, I got to squish it to get it in the ear. But we'll do that. We'll squish it. We'll get it in the ear. And there we go. And now I can adjust it once it's in the ear. And now she's got a bendy ear. So I did that to both of them. They're both ready to go. Now I'm going to take this purple material that I got in a pack at Wally World. There was like 4 different colors stuck with the purple. Now we're going to make her little hats. And as many times as I've done this, you'd think I'd have this down by now, but no, of course not. So I'm just going to cut me out a little square there, and I'm going to kind of fold it wonky, and then I'll fold it the other way because I want to glue it on the inside so that when I turn it right side out, it looks like it has a little bit of a hem. So we put the glue on what looks like the right side, and then we fold it over, and I'm just lining it up. Notice I'm using my fingers, even though my little silicone spatula's over there. And yeah, I'm a hot mess in this, guys. Like, I'm trying to get back in the groove, and it's a big hot mess. So be ready for some shenanigans, okay? Between that and the Mustafa, yeah, buddy. Okay, so getting that together. Here, I will finally put some glue on and finally get my little silicone makeup brushy thing over there and smush it down. I'll let it cool for a second before I start messing with it. I cut that strip that was at the bottom off. And then I kind of made it like a cone and then cut another strip off. And now what I'm going to do is just make a hem all the way around the edge of this. So I've got it still turned wrong side out. And I'm just going to fold those ends up just a little bit. It is not going to be perfect. Trust me. This is about as wonky can get. But I'm just going to glue it up to give it a little bit of a hem so that jagged edge doesn't show and start raveling and fraying. So we're going to do that all the way around. Now we're going to turn her right side out. That point was a beast, and I couldn't find a decent dowel to get up in there and poke it, but that's okay. We're going to flip it down anyway. So now we got our hat. Da-da-da. I'm not going to stuff it or anything. I'm just going to fold it backwards like that because we've now got to attach her ears. Now, this was a process. I cut out a lot of this, but stick the wire in, right? Got the wire in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the wire and just poke a hole through the material so that gives it a place to go. So I'm going to do that on both sides. I know there's an easier way to do this, and this is just, you know me, okay? So I got my holes. I'm going to get my Cricut weeder tool there, and I'm going to make the hole just a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to stick that in all the way through and pull it. See, you can see I got the wire through the material, got both of them in there. Now, then I pull them back out, and I realized, you know what, let me glue the bottom of the ear here. I glued it to the bottom, and then I flipped each end over on top of each other and pressed it, and then I squeezed it and kind of twisted it at the bottom where the twist is. See, you can see it better kind of right there. Ta-da! And now I'm going to cut some of that wire off because now that I've done that, we don't need all that wire. I need just enough to go through her hat And then I'm going to put some glue around it. So now we're going to put her ears back in her head now that I've got the ears glued to the wire hanger and it's not so flippy flappy all over and won't fall off. And I'm going to turn it wrong side out there. And you can see the wire hanging out. And I'm just going to put some glue around this. Is this going to be very sturdy and very... No, of course not. You know Naomi. We just throw Naomi together. Nothing is permanent on Naomi, okay? Naomi is beautiful. She is marvelous. She is Naomi, the Nomi. And she is just beautiful. She don't have to be permanent because we like to dress her up. Now, I realized the ears were a little floppy, so I did glue them to the hat a little bit there on the edge after I kind of straightened them out a little bit more. So just kind of put some glue on the back there. Yes, the green tape is still on the glasses, but I got new glasses on the way. I joined the bifocal club this week, guys. Woohoo! Yeah, buddy! So I'm waiting for my new glasses to come in. I'm so excited. So there is her little hat, and I bent her ear. Is she darling? Hey, guys, it's Sabrina and Moose with Sabrina's Craft-nanigans coming at you today with Crafting Our Stash, and our theme is He is Risen. Yes, indeed. Our hosts are Miss Tasha with Sunflower Tasha DIY and Miss Joanna with Joanna's DIY Life, and our guest host is Jessica with The Busy Housewife. These three ladies are absolutely amazing. Go down to my description box and check out their channel links. And also in my description box in a first pinned comment will be the playlist link to all the beautiful ladies that are giving us some Jesus. Woo! Yes! The reason for the season, people. I hope you enjoy. I am so glad to be here with y'all. Go click those playlists and go click those ladies' channel links. And I will see you in the craft room. Bye. Yeah, had fun with that, didn't ya? Here's DIY number 2. I've always wanted to make me a big, bulky, beaded garland thing. So I'm going to use those beads that I got on clearance at Christmas at Walmart. And I have that cross that came from Dollar Tree. I took my lavender and that, I think, purple iris apple barrel paint, and I mixed it together so it wasn't too dark or too light. I painted my cross, and now I have no idea what happened to the light there. Now I'm taking the plaster, and I'm kind of just distressing everything with my chippy brush there. So see, I just stuck the beads on the end, but just distressed them a little bit. And then I'm doing the same thing with the cross. See, you could tell the difference. So that was the side that didn't, but I'm doing the whole thing, both sides, just to give it a little bit of pop there around the edges. And of course, still using our purple. Now what I did is I did 5 just regular beads. I didn't paint them, and then put on a purple one, 5, then a purple, 5, then a purple, and then 5 regulars. So I've got the 3 purple for the 3 crosses. See there? Look at there. Look at there. Okay, now, don't judge. This is my first time to make a tassel. We're going to take this white yarn from Dollar Tree, some jute, and here's some more of this material. I'm going to do the snip and rip. You just snip a little bit, and then you take it, and you rip it. I like to call it the snip and rip. This gives you your shaggy ribbons, your shaggy bows, all that kind of fun stuff. But I wanted to put some in a tassel. Again, be gentle. This is the first time for me to make a tassel, and enjoy the show. I cut out about 10 minutes of me trying to find the end of that yarn right there, but finally found it. And I'm going to use one of these little crates from the Dollar Tree to just kind of wrap it around. I couldn't find a piece of cardboard or anything really that I liked that was long enough, wide enough. And I'm taking both that and the jute and wrapping and wrapping and wrapping just however much you want, okay? And then I'm going to cut it, right? Now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay some of my purple ribbons on. I don't end up using all of them. Now, here's the end of the beaded garland right here. I stuck 2 jute twines through that at the same time. It fit. Now, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to use this handle of the box right here, and then I can go ahead and tie this tassel on to the beaded garland, right? Right? And then cut that in. Wait for it. Just wait for it. Hang on. I'm looking. You sure did, Sabrina. You sure did. You tied it right to the box. Oh, my Lanta. I thought I was being cute and thought, this is a genius idea. Yeah, no, it didn't work. Anywho, I did get that off. It worked out, and I got it off. And now I'm tying it correctly. No fear. We fixed it. I thought it was a good idea at the time, but, it's okay. So anyway, now we need kind of our little end right there. So I'm taking some more just at the jute and I tie it on the end. And now I'm going to put a little glue on it. Got to make sure it stays, right? And then I'm going to just pull off. Sorry, I hit the camera and knocked you guys out. I apologize. Just going to take me a chunk of jute right there. And I'm just going to wrap. And you just wrap it however much you want. And then here was another part. I was like, well, great. I tied it and then I snipped off that end. Now, what do I tie it to? So I just grabbed one of the strands already in the tassel and then I just pulled it all back down. I didn't know if I wanted to like brush the yarn and stuff out, but I just left it kind of just ragged, rugged, the old rugged cross, ragged, rugged. I mean, I'm trying to be clever here. And then I just grabbed all of it and got a decent pair of scissors and cut the end of it. And there we go. I was so excited about this. So this goes with Naomi. So she is in the spirit of He is risen, the real true meaning of Easter. Silly bunny. Easter's for Jesus. Anywho, DIY number 3. Okay, y'all, this was like last minute. Just did this the other night. I was at Dollar Tree and I found one of these little heart things that are usually all over all the time. Oh, I thought, yes. Okay, so I got one of those. I got those crosses from Hobby Lobby, 40% off right now on Easter stuff. I have a cut off piece of one of the little long signs. Now, the heart comes apart. They're not glued together if you haven't opened one. They're 2 pieces. I sanded off all the wording on there. And then I'm also rounding off that edge on the inside. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm showing you. I'm rounding it off, right? Okay, so I didn't do anything to that white one. I'm leaving it like it is. That was already prepped. I got paper off of it a long time ago when I had to use the other part. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our tight bond and our hot glue, and we're going to glue these, and the white is not going to go where it was. We're kind of moving it out and over. So I put a dot of the tight bond and a dot of the hot glue to give that temporary permanent hold. I do wipe off all the extra glue there, you know, but I saved you some time because I know, I'm sorry, y'all, this is a long video. Whew, I was into it today. Yes. Actually, for about 3 days. I was having fun with these projects. And it should be fun. It's about Jesus. Okay, so now I'm taking the big heart and I figured that's not very wide. So after I glue this on with tight glue and hot glue, tight bond and hot glue. Oh my Lord. Okay. And I kind of glue it up there in the curve because that curve is going on the back of that hump on the heart right there, okay? So you get it. I wipe off all the extra glue. Now, the 2 little blocks over there are going to go back here where I just pointed like that to give it some more stability because I figured that's such a thin piece. The white heart, that's a good chunky piece, but this other piece was kind of thin. So I'm going to use some hot glue and some tight bond, and I'm going to glue those 2 Jenga blocks, just block cubes together and then behind the heart, and that just is to give it some more stability. So there we go. Do you know what I'm going with here? We're going to take 3 of our crosses. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to get rid of those strings. Going to take my fast dry spackle stuff here and I'm going to fill in the holes like we know we always do. And after I get those filled in, let them dry for a little bit, and then I'll just take my little zip sander here, zip, 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 and I'll make sure that that's all nice and smooth and all pretty. So there's that antique wax. You know we couldn't go thing without busting that out, right? Okay, and I got a sponge brush. And so we've got our 3 crosses. The one in the middle, I really want to pop, really want to stick out. That one's going to be darker than the other 2. And yep, I just cut the end off my sponge brush. I saw somebody else do that because those sponge brushes are so long and it's so annoying. And it does work a lot better to cut a little bit of the tip off. Aha. So you noticed on the first one I did, I just put the wax on it and that's it. I left it. On these other 2, I'm putting the wax on and then wiping it off with a dry paper towel. So right there, I kind of just showed you the difference. So we got 2 light ones that I wiped off with the dry paper towel and then one that I just literally left. Oh, Gracie's going to come join us now. Okay, so I'm going to take my Mineral Waverly, and I believe that was the Steel Waverly paint that I'm pouring out right now. You can see that I got a little sponge over there. That's just a kitchen sponge. I'm going to add some water to my Steel gray paint, okay? And what we're going to do is for this first part, I'm just going to smear this all over, okay? just everywhere, all over. I'm going to get a little paintbrush here to kind of go inside those little crooks because I didn't want to pop that pretty heart off of there. I thought it was pretty, and I figured there was no chance of getting it off without breaking it, so it was going to stay. So here we go, just taking that, and I'm leaving that alone, okay? Notice I didn't do the bottom. We'll get that later. Now, it's still wet. I'm not letting it dry. Now I'm going to take my mineral, okay, and I'm going to use that same sponge, okay? Now, instead of smearing and wiping, I'm going to dab, 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 dab-a-doo, dab, 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 dab-a-doo, okay? And all over, I'm making sure I get the outside edge, the inside edge. Do you know what I'm doing yet? I bet you do. I bet you do. We got 3 crosses, and it looks like a little rock has moved over there, a little boulder. Do you know what I'm doing? Okay, so after I dab that all the way around, I'm taking my burnt umber by Apple Barrel here, and I'm going to add some water to that to kind of water it down. And I'm going to cut off a piece of the sponge that I didn't have a lot of gray on because I don't want it mixed right now, even though I end up mixing it all together later. Notice that I'm offloading that quite a bit before I start dabbing it. Okay, we're making this look like a big cave, a big rock, a big boulder. I bet you know what we're doing now. Okay, and I'm going all over with that. And I don't worry too much about the back at this point. I made sure it was covered nicely with all the gray, but I'm not worried about the brown because you won't see the back anyway. I guess depending on how you set it, you could, but... So notice what I'm doing now is I'm like literally, I went back to my bigger sponge with the steel and the mineral and the brown burnt umber, and I'm literally just pouncing this. Not rubbing. Make sure you pounce and don't push too hard because you want, like I was showing you, if you could see, without the moose in the way, that I actually like pounced that so it has that, oh, you know, like spongy look with all the little holes and kind of bumpy, you know. Okay, now I'm taking my truffle by Waverly and a paintbrush, and now we are going to paint that bottom block. Okay, I did do this pretty slow. I've got this sped up quite a bit because I'm trying to keep it neat, and we're going to do all the back. See, on the back, all I did was just do all the gray. I didn't worry about doing the brown on the back of that. So, because it's just the back. So, I'm going to paint our whole little bottom here for stability. And I'm just going to paint that with brown all the way around. On the sides, on the edges. And there we go. See? Do-doop, do-doop. Okay. Now, here's our Antique Waverly wax. I wanted this smaller heart, which is the cave boulder door that has been opened because he has risen. Yes. And I'm taking my Antique Waverly wax, really pouncing that because I wanted that darker than the bigger part of the actual cave. Okay, so these little letters I got at Hobby Lobby when their wood stuff's 40% off. Always go and get your stuff when it's on sale. Okay, get the app for Hobby Lobby and see when it's on sale. Okay, so I just painted those with plaster. Okay, now I'm going to take and I'm going to distress the 2 lighter crosses that I wiped the antique wax off, but I'm not going to do it to the darker cross up there. See here, I'm just kind of showing you the difference. So I'm going to leave that other one alone, just like that. Leave it, okay? I took that plaster while it was on my chippy brush, and I kind of just highlighted by pouncing and kind of just very lightly brushing over it because I didn't want to get it on the heart. I just wanted it on the little fancy little heart right there. Okay, this is some sisal twine that I got from my friend Shelly. Thank you, Shelly. And I'm just kind of wanted a little bit of extra on the crosses. So like how they take the jute twine or whatever and they twist it, crissy, crossy. That's what I'm doing. And I do it about 3 times. So there we go. Just like that. And see, the back looks totally different. However you want to do it, do it. I don't have any idea if I did it right. But you know what? We got hot glue and it's holding, and that's all that matters. Look, get your little spatula there, genius. There you go. Okay, now, after I've already touched it. Okay, so see, lots of appearances by Moose today. Yeah, he was stepping in the paint a little while ago if you missed that, and I cut quite a bit of that out because I had to clean his foot up, but, you know. Okay, so now our 3 crosses. I did that to all 3, so they're done. See, there we go. Don't look too bad on the back, not too shabby. Now, I want the darker cross, which is the one Jesus was on, and I want that at the very top of that hump on that heart right there. And then the other 2, obviously, I want them lower. I wanted them to be smaller, but these are the only crosses that I had. And I didn't want to make anything out of tumbling tower blocks or anything like that because I wanted the same thickness. But so I just figured, well, I'll just put them down lower, make them shorter. It works. Now I'm going to take my letters, which spell out true story. Ever since I have seen like plaques and signs that say true story, I absolutely love this. I was going to put he is risen on there, but that was quite a lot to fit on there. But then I thought, no, true story. I absolutely love all the signs and the plaques with the true story saying on it. They're so pretty, and I just love that. True story. Yes. Okay, to cover up this back, and I wanted to kind of make sure that we look like we were in the cave here, I just took some black cardstock that I got at Walmart, and I just kind of cut around and glued that sucker on the back. So now it looks like the darkness of the cave. So there you go. And then it also kind of covered the stuff up in the back. Okay, here is some green Spanish moss that I got from the Wally World, and I know my lesson now to go to Hobby Lobby and buy all this moss. I like to take my moss and then like kind of shred it, pull it apart a little bit before I glue it on. So I did that, and now I'm going to just glue this on. See, the little spatula just sits there as I stick my hands in it and burn my fingers. After I burn the finger, I get the spatula and then mush that on. I mushed it on the sides. I went around the edges, and now I'm just taking my scissors and trying to cut the block and not the grass. I almost called it foam. And I'm just trimming that up a little bit, just here and there, so that it sits flat when it's on the table. I didn't go around the back side. I'm not worried about the back, just the front and the two sides. Okay, now I have this ribbon here. It's wired, but I cut the wires off both sides and then cut it into like 3 pieces because I just wanted a thin strip. And I wish I had some like of the gross grain, I want to say Rogaine, but I know that ain't it. We ain't growing our hair here. Ribbon, but I didn't have any in a dark purple. All I had was light purple. I wanted the dark purple. This is the only dark purple ribbon that I had that worked. So we're kind of just draping that over the arms of the cross, just like that. I'm going to trim up the backs and angle them a little bit. I'm not going to glue them down. I want them kind of blow in there. And I didn't glue the little front part down either. So there we go. I was so happy with that. I just loved that. That came out. That was like literally last minute. I bought it all and threw it together in a day. I was so excited. Okay, here we go. Last one. Cute, fun one. I got the idea off Pinterest. Okay, so we're going to need 4 more of our garland beads there. One of those Dollar Tree crates with the holes on the side. Okay, I got this little cross here, He is Risen, from Hobby Lobby. And I also got one that says Faith and Hope as well. All right, we're going to paint the crate with Snow White. And we're going to paint our 4 beads with black chalk paint. Abracadabra, poof, boom. There you go. We got it done. So there's our black beads and there's our white crate. We're going to leave that. It's almost dry, but while it's drying, I got this little pack of lambs at the Dollar Tree. And Tasha, girl, all your lamb stuff is so stinking cute. I wanted to do some lamb stuff. So when I found these, I jumped on it, okay? So now I don't like that he's got a cream-colored head. I want a black head, like Tasha with some for Tasha DIYs. Guys, you got to go check out all her sheep creations. Oh my gosh, they're precious. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Tasha, for the inspiration, girl. Love you. Okay. So that black is kind of a flimsy felt because that was Dollar Tree black felt. All I didn't even trace it. I just cut a chunk out and then cut around the head. I'm going to glue the actual head, which was a thicker felt, to the black one that I just cut out and created. Yeah, this is another hot mess. I got glue on my fingers. It's sticking to the felt. Anyway. So now I'm going to glue that to the white fluffy part back there. There we go. So we got our little lamb head here. Bah. There she is. Isn't she cute? And I've got wiggly eyes. We got to have some googly eyes. Now, I tried to use the Aleen's, but you know me. I have no patience. We got to get this done. And so I just bust out my little hot glue pen here, which I love this thing. I love my hot glue pen. It is a Sure Bonder. It's amazing. I love it. The only thing is, it is not on a charger or anything. And it has no on and off switch. So you always got to plug it in, unplug it. Okay, those were some more scraps to make feet and a bow for her, but that's not what I'm doing. I thought about this bow, but I was like, well, that's not cute. I want it purple to match all my other purple stuff because purple, this is the season for some purple. And so I made just a little finger bow right here. I have lots of other videos to show you how to make a finger bow. And I just glued that to the top of her head. We're going to take, our stuff is dry now, so we're going to take our black beads And we're going to glue one in each corner. Yep, should have probably used some wood glue, hot glue combination, but ain't got time for that due to video purposes. We just hot glued everything together. All right, and so there it is. And now we're going to glue her head on. Look, it's a sheep. Oh, my God, it's the lamb. Look at that. Is that not precious? Oh, my God. Ah! And then I was thinking, wait, she's got to have a tail. Well, I know they don't have poofy tails, but look, I have all these little keychain tassels because I was making keychains or when I make my freshies and stuff. Sometimes I put a tassel on it. So I just colored the top part with a black marker because it was metal. And then I just glued it to the back. So now she's got a little tail. Okay. So now struggle bust to get into the foam. So I busted out the scissors and these squares fit in perfectly. So I needed one and about a piece of another. So I marked it, kind of pushed it down to make a line and then just took my little spatula there and boop. I am not gluing any of this in. I don't like to glue my floral or anything like that in. Okay, so got these from Dollar Tree. It says greenery, but it's got some purple in it. This says greenery and this has white in it. And yeah, they just called it greenery. So, you know, I'm going to use all of this and then I'm also going to get another sprig of the white and another sprig of the purple. So I use 2 picks of purple and 2 picks of that white. So here I'm just fitting and realizing, okay, got to cut these down a little bit and all that good stuff. And I'm going to get these in here and I'm just going to kind of, this is just to do, I am no florist. I am just, you know, Moose is going to come here and tell me, and hey, you're kind of sparse there, Mom, and I'm going to eat some of this. And so you need to get some more flowers. So I stopped it and I went and got another purple and another white, cut them up, and it's all in there now. So that's 2 sprigs of purple, 2 sprigs of white. And then what it showed on Pinterest is that they took a cross and they just set it kind of on top of the florals in the sheep. And I just thought, oh my God, look, is that not adorable? Here it is, guys. So here's Naomi in her finest purple. Yes, yes, her beaded cross. She is blessed. Yes, ma'am. And then here's our beaded jute. Yes, beaded jute. I don't, you know, it's a beaded thing. Okay, and here's our true story, the cave. He is risen. Oh my gosh, I know my grandmother and grandfather would love this. They would absolutely love this. I am so proud of that one. And then this adorable sheep. Oh my gosh, OMG. The lamb. The lamb. Oh my gosh, her little tail and everything. Thank you, Pinterest, for this inspiration. So there it is, guys. I hope you like. Make sure you go check the description box for those ladies' channel links and the playlist. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging in there with me. See you next time.